Thank you all very much for coming. We're very happy to share our artistic journey with you tonight. I would like to ask you to put your phones on silent, please, and also the vibration. All right? Thank you very much. I just hope you have a lot of fun.
The man by examination of you.
I think that Dr. Mortimer is a successful elderly medical man, well esteemed, since those who know him give him this mark their appreciation.
Good. Excellent.
I also think that there is the improbability of him being a country practitioner who does a great deal of visiting on foot.
Why so?
Because this stick, although originally a very handsome one, has been knocked about so much that I can hardly imagine a town doctor carrying it. The thick iron ferrule has been worn down, so evident that he's done a great amount of walking with it.
Perfectly sound.
And then there is the Friends of the CCH. I should guess that to be something or other. The local fox hunter, to whom he has given some surgical assistance to, and who has made a small presentation in return.
Really, Watson, you excel yourself. I am bound to say that in all the accounts which you have been so good as to give of my own small achievements, you have habitually underrated your own ability. You are a constant source of stimulation to me. I confess, my dear fellow, I am very much in your debt.
Well, Holmes, I am pleased to have so far mastered your system of deduction as to earn your approval. I sometimes think...
Interesting, though elementary. It gives us one or two indications upon it. Gives us the basis for several deductions.
Has anything escaped me? I trust there is nothing of consequence I've overlooked.
I'm afraid, my dear Watson, that when I said you stimulated me, I meant to be frank that in noting your mistakes, I was occasionally guided towards the truth. Not that you are entirely wrong in this instance. The man is certainly a country practitioner, and he walks a good deal.
Then I was right.
To that extent. Come in.
My stick. I'm so very glad. I was not sure whether I had left it here or in the shipping office. I would not lose that stick for the world.
Presentation, I see.
Yes, sir.
From Charing Cross Hospital.
From one or two friends on the occasion of my marriage.
Dear, that's bad.
Why was it bad?
Only that you have disarranged our little deduction. Dr. James Mortimer?
Yes, sir. And I presume it is Mr. Sherlock Holmes whom I am addressing a note.
No, this is my friend, Dr. Watson.
Glad to meet you, sir. I have heard your name mentioned in connection with your friend.
And the purpose of your visit?
I came to you, Mr. Holmes, because I recognize that I am myself an unpractical man, and because I am suddenly confronted with the most serious and extraordinary problem. I have in my pocket a manuscript.
I observed it as you entered the room.
It is an old manuscript.
Early 18th century, unless it's a forgery. I put it at 1730.
The exact date is 1742. This family undertaker was committed to my care by Sir Charles Baskerville.
Baskerville, oh, 1740. It appears to be a statement of some sort.
Yes, it is an account of a certain legend which runs in the Baskerville family.
The manuscript tells of a curse on the Baskerville family. It seems that the wicked ancestor, Sir Hugo, had set his hounds on some innocent country girl who had rejected his corrupt advances. She died in the chase. But the evil Sir Hugo was himself pursued by some spectre. A foul thing, a great black beast shaped like a hound, yet larger than any hound any mortal eye has rested upon. And even as they looked, the thing tore the throat out of Sir Hugo Baskerville.
And many of the family have since come to tragic and sudden ends. The manuscript tells of the punishment of Providence carrying on to the third and fourth generations, as it says in the Bible. It also warns the members of the family not to cross the mortgage.
In those hours of darkness, when the powers of evil are exalted.
Do you find it interesting?
Because they are very close.
Well, in that case, Mr. Holmes, I have something a little more history. This is the Devon County Chronicle of June the 14th of this year. It is a short account of the facts that is about the death of Sir Charles Baskerville. And then it refers to his health, which had never been good. He had a weak heart and bouts of nervous depression.
He talks to you about his depression?
Many times. One occasion I recall almost vividly.
This legend haunts me, Mortimer. Incredible as it may seem to you, it's as if some dreadful fate overhangs my family. And you have to admit, the record of my answers to death are not encouraging.
Many of our oldest families have an unhappy history of violent deaths, Sir Charles.
No! It's more than that. It's as though... Look! Look over there! What is it? What do you see?
A car, I think. A large black car. To what it's doing on the moor. I can't imagine. Oh, Sir Charles?
Tell me, Mortimer, when you get called out at night to visit some poor old wretch down at the moor, do you ever see a strange creature? Or perhaps the sound of a hound baying?
Let me take you back to the falls, Sir Charles. I will ask Barrymore to set it in fire, and then I will comment on very glad.
And his body was found at the end of the alley of yew trees leading from the hall. There were no marks of violence upon him, but he lay on his face, his arms out, his fingers dug into the ground, and his features convulsed with some strong emotion to such an extent that his close friend and medical attendant, Dr. Mortimer, could scarcely swear to his identity.
My footprints here, and these are Sir Charles' on the tiptoe? What's this? Cigar ash. But nothing else except
Footprints?
footprints.
A man's or a woman's?
Mr. Holmes, they were the footprints of a gigantic hound.
Yes, sir. Now, young feller, I don't know that much about British customs yet, but I hope that to lose one of your shoes is not part of the ordinary routine of life over here. No, sir. Then where in tarnation is it? I don't know, sir. I'll look at every box. I'll find it, sir. I promise.
There's no problem, sir. Henry.
You bet there is. I left a pair of boots out last night to clean. This morning, I wake up and one of my pairs is missing.
I assure you, it will be found, sir. There must be some simple explanation to this. Get out and find it. I shall supervise the search personally. Oh, this one from the morning's post today.
Weird. Who knows I'm here? As you value your life or your reason, keep away from the morgue. Your life or your reason?
There are many sheepdogs on the morgue, Watson.
Yes, but he claims these prints were enormous, and we have to account for the fact that before this terrible event occurred, several people had seen a creature on the moor, corresponding exactly to the Baskerville demon. They all claimed it was a creature, human, luminous, ghostly, and spectral. Mortimer examined all them hard-headed countrymen, and all tell the same story of this dreadful apparition. There is a reign of terror in the district home, and it is a hardy man who will cross the moor by night.
And you, a trained man of science, believe it to be supernatural?
I do not know what to believe.
Well, you must admit, the footprints were material.
The footprints were material enough to tug a man's throat out, and yet he was diabolical as well.
I see you have quite gone over to the supernaturalist, Watson. I trust you will permit me to confine my investigations to the happenings of this world. Pass me that sketch again, will you? Charles's body was found at the end of the alley of yew trees leading from the hall. It's about 8 feet across, and at one point there is a gap with a gate in it, leading to the moor. About 50 yards beyond that point, Sir Charles's body was found. The beast's prints were seen between the body and the moor gate, which was closed and padlocked.
But only about 4 feet high, so anybody could have got over it. Or anything.
And we have Dr. Mortimer's evidence that Sir Charles had evidently been standing there for 5 minutes or so.
How do you know that?
We know that the ash from Sir Charles's cigar had fallen twice.
Of course.
And the change in the footprints between where the body was found and the gate, what do you make of it?
Mortimer reported that Sir Charles had walked on tiptoe down that portion of the alley.
That was only his interpretation of the evidence. Why would a man have walked on tiptoe down his own path?
What then?
He was running, Watson. Running for his life, running desperately, running till he burst his heart and fell dead upon his face.
Running from what?
That must be our country practitioner. This time, not alone, I suppose. Sir Henry Baskerville, if I'm not mistaken.
How do you do, Mr. Holmes? Dr. Watson? My friend Dr. Mortimer has acquainted you with the distressing story of my uncle's death, I believe.
He has. My condolences. Please take a seat, gentlemen. Sir Henry, you are the late Sir Charles's only heir, are you not?
That's right, I'm his nephew. There were 3 brothers. Charles was the oldest, my father came next, and then there was a younger brother, Roger. A bit of a black sheep by all accounts. And then there was the image of the wicked Sir Hugo. He made England too hot to hold him, fled in Panama in 1876, where he died of yellow fever. I'm class of the hospital, Mr. Holmes.
I see.
So, what did you make of this hellhound business?
Dr. Mortimer, put into plain words, the matter is this. In your opinion, there is a diabolical agency which makes Dartmoor an unsafe abode for a basketball. Is that your opinion?
At least I might go to the length of saying that there is some evidence that this may be so.
And you have no
Has anything else come up?
Dr. Mortimer thought I should show him this. Some foolery sent to my hotel. Only a joke as like as not.
Sir Henry Baskerville, Northumberland Hotel.
Who knew you were
Postmark Charing Cross.
Who knew you were right there, Northumberland?
No one could have known.
You have not observed anyone follow or watch you?
Why in thunder should anyone follow or watch me? I seem to have walked right into a thick of a dime novel.
Thank you. Shall I have a cup of
I prefer to hold the police affairs better than average.
One more question. You say that before Sir Charles's death, many have seen this apparition on the mark?
3 people did.
Did any see it after?
I have not heard of it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you.
Quick, Watson, your hat. Not a moment to lose. Not for the world, my dear Watson. I am perfectly satisfied with your company if you would tolerate mine. Our friends are very wise, for it is suddenly a very fine morning for a walk. There they are. Just look in that interesting shop window for a moment, my good fellow, will you?
Yes, as I thought.
Huh?
Don't turn so obviously, Watson. There is our man, with that handsome over there. He's moving on. Now let's follow. We will have a good look if we can do no else. What do you see of him?
Bushy black beard, piercing eyes. He's seen us. Quick!
Quick, Watson!
Who was he?
I have not the slightest idea. I can only swear to his beard, which in all probability was a false one.
A spy? Oh, what a pity we not get the number of the cab.
My dear Watson, clumsy as I have been, you surely do not imagine that I neglected to get the number. 2704 is our man.
Why, it's Mr. Holmes. How are you, sir?
Very good, thank you. This is my friend, Dr. Watson.
It's a pleasure to meet you. If I want to say my good name, and you must of course know.
Mr. Porter is the manager of the district messenger service. A splendid body of young fellows.
Prepared to go anywhere, do anything, at duty's called by night or day.
And from my recollection, you have among your lads a boy named Cartwright, which has shown some ability during this investigation.
Yes, he is still with us. Right.
This Cartwright is a bright young fellow, and just a man who visits every hotel in the neighborhood of Charing Cross. Search through the waste paper, find a copy of Times for which the words were cut. Then it only remains for us to examine the registers. The odds are enormously against his finding anything, but it is an opportunity we cannot miss. Then it only remains for us to find out by wires the identity of cabman 2704.
Yes, by one source or another, we also learned something by the thief.
Spectre hounds, anonymous letters, false beards. This case is proving to be more intriguing than I have thought.
can assure you it's the first time such a thing has ever happened.
The second time. The second. Which is why I'm so angry. Yesterday, I wake up and what do I find? I have lost the tangut. Today, it mysteriously reappears. But what do I find? I have now lost a blackwood.
A blackwood?
Yes, sir. And I need to find it. Last night, they took one of my new tanguts. Today, it's one of my old black ones. Either I get that wood back by sundown or...
Sir, I assure you it will be found, or the Northern Lumberland Hotel will buy you a new pair of boots.
I don't want a new pair. I want the other half of my old ones. I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. You must excuse my getting angry over such a trifle.
I think it's well worth traveling about.
Why, you seem very serious over it.
How do you explain it?
I don't attempt to explain it. This is the maddest, queerest thing that has ever happened to me.
The queerest, perhaps. Dr. Morton, you have not realized that you were both being followed from my house this morning?
Followed by whom?
That, unfortunately, is what I cannot tell you. Do you have any further developments before we go into this matter?
No. Or, let me see. Why, yes. Barry, Sir Charles's butler.
Indeed, he's in charge of the hall. That, of course, can be checked. It was in the telegram. If I could accompany you myself, I would. But I fear that it is impossible for me to be absent from London at this present time.
I'm more grateful that I can say Dr. Watson. Dr. Mortimer and I will take you on the train. We have a compartment reserved. Thank you, Mr. Holmes, and goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. But beware one of the phrases in that queer old legend that Dr. Mortimer has shown us. And stay away from the moor in those hours of darkness when the powers of evil are exalted. And don't let Dr. Watson leave your side.
What have you gentlemen, Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Do tell us, sir.
This should answer some of our questions. Confirmed telegram handed to Barrymore at the Hall, Postmaster Greenhill. Visited 23 hotels as directed, but unable to capture a sheet of times. There goes all my threads, Watson. There is nothing more stimulating than a case where everything goes against us. But we must look around for another scent.
What about this Barrymore couple? Would it not be well in the first place to get rid of them?
By no means. This is our map for our portion of the moor. In the center is Baskerville Hall. I have circled the places which concern me.
It must be a wild place.
You have arms, I suppose?
Yes, I feel well stated.
Excellent. night and day, and never relaxed her precautions.
Any news on the cabman?
Only that he was deposited at Waterloo Station and had announced himself as Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He saw me, knew that I would identify the cabman, and so sent back this audacious message. Yes, Watson, this time we are up against a worthy adversary, and I could checkmate him in London. I only wish you better luck in Devonshire, but I'm not losing my mind about it.
About what?
About sending you. It's an ugly business, an ugly, dangerous business, and the more I see of it, the less I like it.
You needn't worry about me, Holmes. I'll write to you as soon as I reach Baskerville Hall. Goodbye.
Yes, my dear fellow, you may laugh, but I give you my word that I will be happy to have you back here safe and sound in Baker Street once more.
Just as I've imagined it. Is it not the very picture of an old family home? To think that this should be the same hole that for 500 years my people have lived in. It strikes me solemn to think of it.
Will you wish your dinner to be served at once, sir?
Is it ready?
In a few minutes, sir. You will find hot waters in your rooms. My wife and I will be happy to stay with you, Sir Henry, until you make French arrangements. But you understand.
Are you saying that your wife and you wish to leave?
Only when it's quite convenient to you, sir.
But your family has been with mine for generations. I don't understand. I don't want to live my life here by breaking our family connection.
I feel that also, sir, and so does my wife. But to tell the truth, we were really both very much attached to socials, and he said give us a shock, make these surroundings very painful to us.
But what do you intend to do?
We intend to establish ourselves from business, sir. St. Charles University gave us a news to do so. And now, perhaps you should be best to show you to your rooms.
Your net and box would have told me so, but I knew that Mr. Stapleton was a naturalist. But how did you know me?
From Dr. Mortimer. I trust that Sir Henry is not the worse for his journey.
He is very well, thank you.
We were all rather afraid that after the sad death of Sir Charles, that the new baronet might refuse to live here. Sir Henry has, I suppose, no superstition fears in the matter.
Has nothing that is likely.
Of course. You know the legend of the famed dog which haunts the family.
I have heard it.
It is extraordinary how credulous the peasants are around here. Any number of them are ready to swear that they've seen such creature upon the moor. There's sure to be a great hold upon the imagination of Sir Charles, and I have no doubt that it led to his tragic end.
But how?
His nerves were so worked up, the appearance of any dog might have had fatal consequences upon his diseased heart.
You think then that some dog did pursue your child, and he died of fright in consequence?
Have you any better explanation?
I have not come to any conclusion.
Has Mr. Sherlock Holmes? It is useless for us all to pretend that we do not know you, Dr. Watson. May I ask who's gonna honor us with a visit himself?
He cannot leave London at present.
What a pity. Oh, we're being observed.
Who is it? And why are they armed?
It's a soldier. There's a convict that escaped out of prison at Princeton.
Do they normally send out the army for an escaped convict?
No, but this is no ordinary convict. This man can stick at nothing.
Who is he?
It is Selden, the Notting Hill murderer.
Yes, I remember reading about it.
Yes, he only avoided hanging because of doubts about his sanity. Oh, look! Cyclopipes! It is a wonderful place, Amor. Undulating downs like green Atlantic rollers, with crests of jagged granite foaming up into fantastic surges. You must forgive me, Dr. Watson, but I never tire of this place. It is so vast and barren, and so mysterious.
You know it well, then?
I have only been here 2 years. Before that, I was headmaster at a school in Yorkshire. But my hobby has led me to explore every inch of it.
Is it hard to know?
Very hard. Step up here. You notice those bright green spots scattered the crane to the north with the clear hills breaking out of it.
It would be a rare place for a gallant.
You would naturally think so, and the thought has crossed
housekeeper their lives before now. You notice those bright green spots scattered over it?
Yes, they seem more fertile than the rest.
That is the great Grimpenmeyer. That false step yonder means death to man or beast. Only yesterday I just saw one of the more ponies wander into it. He never came out. I could see his head for quite a long time craning at the buttholder. It sucks him down at last. Even in dry seasons, it is a dangerous crossing, especially after this autumn rains is an awful place. And yet, I can find my way to the very heart of it and return unharmed.
But why should you wish to penetrate such horrible a place?
It is where the rare plants and butterflies are. But I warn you never to go there. If you were to try, your blood would be on my hands. Queer place some more.
But what on earth is it?
The peasants say it is the Hound of the Bastervilles calling for its prey. I've heard it once or twice before, but never quite so loud.
You're an educated man. You do not believe in such nonsense as that. What do you think is the cause of such strange a sound?
Dogs make queer noises sometimes. It's the mud settling or the water rising or something.
No, that was a living voice.
Oh, perhaps it was. Did you ever hear a bittern booming?
What?
A bittern, a very rare bird, practically extinct in England by now. But all things are possible on the moor.
It's the weirdest, strangest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's an uncanny place altogether. Look at the hillside yonder. What do you make of those?
What are they? Sheep pens?
No, they're what's left of the homes of the prehistoric people who inhabited the moor. Neolithic man. Oh look, Cyclopides! You must forgive me, doctor, but it looks like an excellent specimen.
Go back to London, instantly.
Why should I go back?
I cannot explain, but for God's sake do what I say. Go back and never set a foot upon the moor again.
But I've only just come.
Man, can you not tell when the warning is for your own good? Go back to London, start tonight. Get away from this place at all costs. Hush, my brother is coming. Not a word of what I've said.
Hello, Barrow.
Well, Dad, you're very cross.
Yes, I was chasing a cyclopides. Without success, unfortunately. You have introduced yourself, Lexi.
I was just telling Sir Henry that it was rather late in the years to go see the orchids.
Oh, there has been some kind of mistake. I'm merely Sir Henry's friend. My name is Dr. Watson.
We've been talking at cross purposes.
Why? Had you not much time for talk?
I was talking as if Dr. Watson were a resident rather than a visitor. It cannot matter much to him whether it's early or late to go see the orchids.
Yes, you're right. Well, Dr. Watson, our house is nearby. May we offer you lunch?
Thank you.
Well, in that case, Jack, perhaps you should run and warn the cook to expect a guest.
Yes, perhaps you're right. Well, Dr. Watson, we shall continue our talk in a few minutes.
I'm so sorry the mistake I made in thinking you were Sir Henry. Please forget the words I said.
But I can't forget the mistake. Sir Henry's my friend.
A woman's whim, Dr. Watson. Nothing more.
No, I remember the look in your eyes.
You make too much out of it, Dr. Watson.
But what is the danger?
You know the story of the hound.
I do not believe in such nonsense.
But I do.
Let me ask you this, Miss Davidson. Why do you not wish for your brother to overhear what was said?
My brother is very anxious to keep the hall inhabited. It gives work to the poor people on the moor. He would be angry if he thought I tried to induce Sir Henry to leave. That's all. Now we must go in for lunch. Please ask no more questions.
can't be sure. All we know is what the postmaster Grimms told me. They sent a boy over here with a letter to give to Barrymore, but he ended up giving it to his wife. You said that her husband was in the loft.
It doesn't look good, Watson. And there is his wife, sobbing every night. Was distressing her? I tried to question Barrymore yesterday. I had passed on some of my unwanted clothes to him, but he denied that there was any problem.
I'm afraid I have something even more worrying to tell you about Barrymore.
Go on.
Last night, about 2 in the morning, I was woken by a stealthy step passing my room. I rose, opened my door, and peeped out. I saw a shadow down the corridor, with a candle in his hand. It was Barrymore.
Which room was he in?
It looks out westward. Out of all the rooms, it has the best view out into the mall.
I knew that Barrymore walked about nights and had a mind to speak to him about it. 2 or 3 times, I heard his passage, coming and going. But
Perhaps he takes us into every night to that particular window.
perhaps he does. It was just about the hour you named. If so, we should be able to shadow him. What do you say? Should we stay up tonight in my room and wait until he passes?
Yes, I think I should come out, just in case.
What are you doing there, Barrymore?
Nothing, sir. It's a window. I go around to see if they're fastened.
On the 2nd floor. This time of night. Look here, Barrymore. We have made up our minds to have the truth out of you. So it will save you the trouble to tell it sooner than later. What were you doing at that window?
Don't ask me, Sir Henry. Don't ask me. It is not my secret, and I cannot tell it. If it concerned no one but myself, I would have tried to keep it from you.
Hold on. Maybe he was using the candle as a light, as a signal. Let's see if there's any answer.
No, sir. It is nothing. Nothing at all.
There it is!
Move your light across the window, Watson. See? The other one moves as well. Now you rascal! Do you deny that this is a signal?
It is my business and not yours. I will not say.
Then you must leave my employment right away.
Very well. If I must, I must.
And you live in disgrace. Your family has lived with mine under this roof for over 100 years. And here you find you did this upload against me.
No, sir. Not against you. We have to go, Eliza. This is the end of it. Pack our things.
Oh, John, have I brought you to this? It is my doing, Sir Henry, all mine. He has done nothing except for my sake, all because I asked him to.
Speak out then. What does it all mean?
My unhappy brother is starving on the moor. We cannot let him perish out of great gates. The light is a signal to him that food is ready, and his light out yonder is to show the spot to where to bring it to.
Then your brother is.
Escaped convict, sir. Seldom. A criminal.
That's the truth. I said that it was not my secret, but now you will see that it wasn't a plot against you.
He escaped prison, sir, knowing that I was here and I could not refuse to help him. Every day we have hoped that he's gone, but as long as he was there, we cannot desert him.
Is this true, Barrymore?
Yes, sir. Every word of it.
Well, I don't blame you for standing by your own wife. Have you seen someone recently?
No, sir. But food is always gone when I return. Except if the other man has been taken.
Another man?
Yes.
Have you seen him?
No, sir. But someone told me about him a week ago. He's in hiding too. But he's not a convict as much as I can tell.
Where's he
He's
living?
like a gentleman.
Where's he living?
In the stone hands, when the ancient fox used to eat.
And what about his food?
Sultan told me he's got a lad working from him and made him on his knees. Probably from King Tracy. I don't like it, sir. What does it all mean?
What's going to happen to Sultan now?
In a few days, he was beginning his way to South America. For God's sake, sir, I beg you not to let the police know he's still alive anymore.
Well, what do you say, Watson?
If he was safely out of the country, it will relieve the taxpayer of a burden.
I guess we are adding and abetting a felony, Watson. But after what we have heard, I don't think I can give them enough. So there's an end of it. And I
to meet a woman.
A woman?
Yes, sir. And her name? I don't know her name, but I can read her initials. Her initials are LL.
How do you know this, Barrymore?
Solchas had a letter when he died. It was from Tom Tracy, and it's addressed in a woman's hand.
You still have...
Why did you conceal this?
It came at the same time as Selden's escape, sir.
You still have the paper?
No, sir.
A few weeks ago, as I was cleaning Strochow's study room, I found some burnt paper in the grate. There was a letter, and only the end could be read. It said, please, as your gentleman, burn this letter and be by the gate by 10 o'clock. Beneath it, there were signed the initials LL.
Do you still have it?
No, sir. It crumbled into ashes as I tried to move it.
And you have no idea who LL is?
No, sir. But it's a lady called Dora Leon, the author of Old Franklin, Cousin Moore. She has a typewriting business in Tom Tracy.
Could be that one, Watson. All right, Barrymore, you can go. Thank you. What a night, Watson.
Yes, a night of revelations. But are we getting closer to unraveling this mystery? We strike Barrymore off our list of suspects, only to add this mysterious stranger out on the moor.
And Laura Leon's too.
Oh yes, any woman who asks to meet a man the very night he is killed could not be free of suspicion.
Well, what do you intend to do now?
First, I'll write a letter to Holmes in Baker Street and report these latest developments. And then I suppose he would go and visit Laura Leon, and then try to rat out this man on the moor, whoever he is.
Well, then, my dear Watson, that is precisely what you should do.
Mrs. Leon? My name is Dr. Watson. It's about the late Sir Charles Baskerville I'm here to see. Did you meet him often?
Once or twice only, when he came to country.
Then how do you know enough of your affairs to be able to help him?
Several gentlemen united to help him. One was Mr. Stapleton.
Did you ever write to Sir Charles, asking him to meet you?
Really, sir?
I'm sorry, madam, but I must repeat it.
Did I answer? Certainly not.
Not on the very night of Sir Charles' death.
No.
Surely you might receive it. For I can quote a passage from your letter. It ran, please, if you are a gentleman, burn this letter and be at the gate by 10 o'clock.
Is there no such thing as a gentleman?
Oh, you do Sir Charles injustice. He did burn the letter, but some of it remained legible. You did write it.
Yes. Why should I deny it? I have no reason to be ashamed. I wish him to help me.
Well, why rendezvous in the garden rather than the house?
Do you think a woman could go at that hour to Bastervilles' house?
Well, what happened when you got there?
I never went.
Miss Leon's?
No, I swear to you, on all I hold sacred, I never went. Something interviewed to prevent my going.
And what was that?
That's a private matter. I cannot tell.
Mrs. Leon?
All right. At the last minute, I received help from another source.
I see. Thank you for your help, Miss Leon. Here we are, the Neolithic settlement. So this is where he lives. What's this? Dr. Watson, Tom's cream trace. A child's writing? Why are you dogging me? Only one way to get the answer. Wait inside for the occupant to return.
It's a lovely evening, my dear Watson. I really think you will be more comfortable outside than in.
Oh, Samuels!
Come out and please be careful with the revolver.
I've never been more glad to get one in my entire life.
Or more astonished, eh?
Well, I must confess to it. But who's been bringing your supplies?
That adorable Cartwright, of course. So you have visited Mrs. Larion's, have you?
Well, why did you not tell me you were here?
It was important that no one should know my presence here.
But
Now, to business, Watson. You are aware of the close intimacy that exists between this man Stapleton and Mrs. Larion?
I did not know of close intimacy.
They meet and they write. Now, if I could just use that fact to detach his wife.
His wife?
Yes, the lady that passes as his sister is in reality his wife.
Why the elaborate deception?
Because he knew that she would be much more used to him if she appeared to be unmarried.
It is he then who is our enemy? It is he who dogged us in London? And then the warning letter sent to Sir Henry. It must have come from her.
Exactly.
But then, where does Miss Laura Leon fit in?
I am almost certain that Stapleton had offered to marry her once her divorce comes through.
And when she finds out that he cannot?
Then, Watson, we will find the lady of service.
But what is the after home? What is this all about?
Murder! Watson. Cold-blooded, refined murder! But my net must close in upon him.
Oh my God!
Where did it come from?
There.
I was too late, Watson. Sir Henry is dead!
The broom, the broom. Oh, Holmes, I should never forgive myself for having left him to his fate.
I am more to blame than you. In order to ensure a watertight case, I have thrown away the life of my client. It is the greatest blow which has befallen me in my career. But how could I know? How could I know that he would risk his life upon the moor in the face of all my warnings?
And we should have heard his screams, and yet still been unable to save him.
Stapleton shall answer for this deed. But if we are to make one false move, the villain might escape us yet. Someone's coming.
I heard screams. Who is the poor fellow? Why, Mr. Holmes? My God!
But we thought, what?
This is Sultan, Sir Henry, the escaped convict. He's wearing some of your old clothes, the ones he gave me. I'm sorry, Barrymore. I will have to inform my wife, sir. Of course. I'll help you carry the body back to the morgue. Will I see you later, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, we will follow you.
I heard cries, but no one is harmed.
I fear that there has been another death on the moor.
How terrible! Not Sir Henry.
Why Sir Henry in particular?
Because I had suggested that you should come and dine with me and my sister. When I heard cries, I was allowed to safely. This is awful. I feel so responsible.
Then it will be a reassurance for you to know that it was not Sir Henry, but in fact Selden, the escaped convict.
I am relieved beyond words. How did he die?
He appears to have broken his leg.
Well, then, my help is not required after all. By the way, did you hear anything else besides his cries?
No, did you?
No.
Why did you ask?
Oh, you know the stories the peasants say about the phantom hound and so on.
We heard nothing of the kind.
Well, good night, Dr. Watson. Good night, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. We have all been waiting for your arrival with eager anticipation.
What a nerve the fellow has. What do you propose on doing next?
3 things, Watson, and without delay. Tomorrow morning, I will visit Mrs. Lara Lyons, inform her that Stapleton is married, and gather whatever evidence I can which will help to convict him. There is no doubt that Stapleton had instructed her to write that letter, instructing Sir Charles to meet her at that gate on that fateful night. Secondly, you will write the letter to Inspector Lestrade at Scotland Yard. Thirdly, yes, there is no other way. Thirdly, we will instruct Sir Henry to rearrange tonight's broken dinner engagement with Stapleton and his sister at Mary's house for tomorrow evening.
Are you sure, Holmes?
Yes. Sir Henry will be safe if he crosses the moat, if he goes over to Mary's house during the daylight. But if my plan is to work, then Stapleton and Sir Henry must believe that you and I are back in London. You and Lestrade can meet me at my hiding place on the moor at sunset. The net must close in tomorrow night.
That will be all for this evening, Barrymore. You must comfort your wife.
Yes, sir. Whatever else, he was her only brother.
Of course. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Come in, Sherlock Holmes. Welcome to Baskerville Hall, sir. This is a gallery, as you can see. And these are my ancestors. So, what do we do next?
To begin with, I believe your invitation to dine with Stapleton at Mary's house has been rearranged for tomorrow evening.
Yes, I hope you will come also.
I fear that Watson and I have to come back to London.
To London?
Yes,
When do you desire to go?
immediately after breakfast. Watson will send a note to Stapleton informing him that we regret that we cannot come.
I have a good mind to come to London with you. Why should I stay here alone?
Because it is your post of duty. Because you gave me your word that you will do exactly as you were told, and I tell you to stay.
All right then, I'll stay.
Thank you. If you follow my instructions to the letter, then I have no doubt that the chances are little problem will soon be solved.
That is Rear Admiral Baskerville.
That cavalier opposite me,
You
with
have
the
a-
black button in place.
You have a right to know about him. That is a cause for all the mischief in our family. The wicked Hugo. He's the one who started the Hound of the Bastervilles. We're not likely to forget about him.
Dear me, he seems such a quiet, meek-mannered old man, but I dare say there is a lurking devil in his eyes.
I dare say. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll turn in. It's been a strange day.
Of course. Good night, sir.
Good night, gentlemen.
Do you see anything there?
What do you mean?
Does it look like anyone we know?
There's a slight suggestion of Sir Henry about the jaw.
A slight suggestion perhaps, but wait a minute.
My God, it's Stapleton. It could be his portrait,
Yes, the fellow is a Baskerville, there can be no doubt.
with the signs upon the succession.
Lestrade will bring with him evidence of Septon's position in the family. Sir Henry's uncle, the black sheep, Sir Roger, was meant to have died in Panama, childless. My guess is that he did not, and that Stapleton is his son. Come, Watson, let us retire. We have a full day ahead of us tomorrow. We have him, Watson. We have him, and we will add him to the Baker collection. I am very glad you were able to join us, Lestrade.
Please be of a service, Mr. Holmes. This seems like the biggest thing in years. Where is it?
Still in the house with Sir Henry. Oddly, there is no sign of his wife. We watched him go towards the outbuilding and heard a key turn in the padlock.
The hound?
Almost certainly. The evidence proves that Stapleton must keep his hound in the old disused tin mines on the moor, bringing it here when he comes to let it loose. Do you have the information I asked for, Lestrade?
Yes, you were right. He's the only son of Sir Roger. This is our man.
A very dangerous one, from the old Sir Hugo strain.
Well, I came armed to this affair because, you know, when I'm wearing trousers and I have a hip pocket, I most certainly have something in it.
Good. My friend and I are always ready for emergencies.
You're mighty close to this affair. What's the game now?
A waiting game.
We are to wait here.
Yes, this is where we will make our ambush. But I begin to be uneasy. This fog, it's moving towards us.
Is that serious?
Very serious indeed. The path could be covered in an hour. Thank God. I think I hear him. Yes, as I thought. Listen. Whatever it was. We have laid the family ghost once and forever. It's a bloodhound or a mastiff, but of huge size. You'll find your man in the house, Lestrade.
I will come with you.
But be careful, you will be armed.
All right.
You saved my life, having first endangered it.
imprisoned in an upstairs room, bound and gagged so that she could not warn Sir Henry.
But why would he want to kill me?
Stapleton is not his real name. He's a Baskerville, your cousin, the only son of Sir Roger.
But I thought...
He lived in Central America for most of his life, where his father had died, and where he no doubt would return to after his death to collect the inheritance by letter. There's a devilish plan. Come, Sir Henry, let me take you home.
Home. Yes.
Is he safe? Has he escaped?
He cannot escape us, madam.
No, not my husband. Sir Henry, is he safe?
Yes, quite safe.
Thank heaven. And the hound?
It is dead.
Thank God, thank God. Oh, this villain, see how he treated me? But this is nothing, nothing. It is my mind and soul that he has most tortured and tried. I know that in this, I've been his soup and he's still.
Then you should not shelter him anymore, madam. Then tell us where we shall find him.
There's but one place where he could have fled. There's this old tin mine in the heart of an island in the mire. There is where he kept his hound and where he had planned to have a refuge. There is where he would have fled.
No one could have made their way to the dripping mire through this fog.
He may find his way in, but never his way out. We planted 6 as markers, guiding ones from one dry island to the next. But there is no way he can find his way through the darkness of the fog.
Holmes, what's that? Stuck in the mud.
Wait! This is the very edge of the mire. One false step and you could be lost in seconds. Here, grip my arm and don't let go.
Yeah! Is our friend Sir Henry's missing boot?
And where's the mud buff? Left here by Stephen, no doubt, in his flight.
Yes, he must have held on to the boots after using it to set it, the hound of Sir Henry's trap. He fled once he knew the game was up, still clutching it, and hurled it away at this point in his flight.
We know at least that he came this far in safety. Come on, Mrs. Stapleton.
But more than that, we were never destined to know. For when we returned the next day, there was no chance of finding footsteps in the mire. If the earth told a true story, then Stapleton never reached the island refuge towards which he struggled through the fog upon that last night. Somewhere in the heart of the great Grimpen mire, down in the foul slime of the huge morass which had sucked him in, this cruel and cold-hearted man is forever buried.